me. You don't think a man is gonna love me?
It's called Jesus.
Huh?
Jesus.
So basically, you telling me to call on Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And a therapist.
And I thought you was. Well, can me and you be together then?
Sure. After you call on Jesus and the therapist to get a makeover. You want to troll me? I'm better at it than you.
Fire! The kosher clinician. Live at the Hyatt actually in Atlanta, Georgia, and just want to take the time to say I met some awesome, brilliant people on today, very awesome people. And while I'm sitting here reflecting, it's important for men and women to understand that if you want to be the best version of yourself, you got to do the work. And you might ask the question, what does that mean? There's a term that I created called uncovering so that you can recover. And you might ask the question, what does uncovering so that you can recover mean? It basically means that you're doing the work. It basically means that you're looking at yourself and all the dark things or the dark shadows that more or less can permeate your thoughts and your mind. It basically means that you're saying, you know what? I'm not going to continue to perpetuate or live in a victim cycle, but I'm going to do the work to do or to be the best version of myself. One of my missions, guys, to being a clinician was to strive to understand how environment, prior traumas, the past, negative or positive socialization has played a role in the functioning of men and women. I had a very good conversation with a young lady out of the 313, shout out to Miss J. And she was more or less talking about the work that she's done as it relates to understanding the struggles, the thinking, and also the things that she caused in her life to cause her to be in the state or the situation that she is in now. And, you know, many of you men, you guys want wives, you guys want relationships, you want a woman at some point, you know, and I decided to come down to the Lapeef Experience Live for the most part, just to chop it up with some of the brothers that I met online. Met some awesome people. I'm down here with a Peaceful Life, the Ingram Experience, and it's been a good conversation, you know, and the conversation needs to continue. As you ladies know, but mostly as some of you men know, men are beginning to wake up. Men are beginning to do what's best for them. And so being a clinical therapist, one of the things I talk about, guys, is something called the right to self-determination. And then basically the right to self-determination basically means men have the right to live their lives on their own terms, free of ridicule, free of shame, free of distress, free of whatever. And that's why it's so important that we have these conversations as many are beginning to grow, as many are beginning to take their lives to the next level, and also as many are beginning to explore how their past or their formative years as a child played a role not only in their development, but also how they broker for power, but also how they demand power. Listen, you have to learn how to broker for power in a relationship if you're going to get the best outcomes for yourself long term. One of the things that men are doing now as it relates to male empowerment is beginning to travel abroad. Some have decided to, you know, the ones that don't have passports, to deal with their women here in America, and that's okay. That's what you want to do. But if you feel like you can get a greater commodity abroad, I salute those men. I salute those women that want to do it. But because my channel is dedicated to male empowerment, I salute all men that say, you know what, I'm going to do the self-introspection. I'm going to do therapy. I'm going to get myself checked into therapy. I'm going to do non-diagnostic consultations, preferably with me. And I'm going to get the outcomes that I desire so I can be the best version of myself. Listen, life is fleeting. Tomorrow is not promised to no man. As you guys know, we're here in the ATL. This is where Kevin Samuels is from. And a lot of solid content creators are from Atlanta. We got some great ones in the Tar Heel State as well. But the thing you need to understand and remember is that tomorrow is not promised to no man. You know, you don't know how much longer you got on this earth. And it's important to maximize your life. It's important to maximize what you can do for yourself. And you should never be a victim, guys, of self-guilt or black self-guilt. Shout out to Dre from Lower Crossing Boys. He was talking about that last night. Don't be a victim of black self-guilt. If you've done the work, if you're doing the work, if you are uncovering so that you can recover, if you're looking at the things from your past and how it impacted you in a negative way, then you are on the road to not only of self-actualization and self-determination, you are on the road to getting the woman that you desire, and also the woman of your dreams. And listen, it's not always about getting a woman anyway. Sometimes just about you living your life in your own terms, being free of distraction, being free of ridicule, being free of community indoctrination. But living your life on your own terms, because watch this, at the end of the day, you are a man. You are a man. You don't have to settle for mediocrity. You don't have to more or less, how can I say it, allow others to make you feel bad for making choices and decisions that are going to be more or less beneficial for you. The more you understand how much power you got as a man, no longer will you continue to be a slave to your thinking. No longer will you continue to be a slave to the thoughts that more or less have kept you a slave in the past. Life is fleeting. Tomorrow is not promised. If you want to be successful, ask yourself the question, are you willing to do the work? Ask yourself the question, are you willing to do the work? Ask yourself the question, am I really ready to get into the therapeutic process to understand how my past is shaping who I am today? Ask yourself the question, am I willing to do the work to more or less understand how negative thinking errors have played a role on my development as a man, and also as my development relates to broken for power in relationships? If you're willing and able to do that on a consistent basis, then that means that you're willing to take life to the next level. Once you take life to the next level, everything will begin to look better. The world will begin to look better. Your opportunities, your outcomes will become better. You will no longer continue to be a slave of negative indoctrination. You will begin to soar because you have done the work. And so it was a pleasure to talk to Mrs. J. You know, she's a very humble young lady, very logical. Her and I had a great conversation this morning with a couple of the guys. Shout out to the Ingram Experience, Cheeky Banner, good young brother, very intelligent. And also Scam Unlikely, I believe that's the name he goes by. So really make some real cool people, man. And I just want to continue the mantle of encouragement, the mantle of empowerment as it relates to men that have done the work, getting the best outcomes. Men that have done the work, seeing life for what it is, not being a slave of the past, not more or less living under the shallows of pain or brokenness, but beginning to spread your wings and more or less beginning to soar your wings like the eagle that you are, and beginning to expand your border like an eagle and seeing the world for what it is. Once you can adequately begin to do that, you will no longer feel guilty when you're making decisions that are best for you. But you got to ask yourself the question, have I done the work? Have I done the work? Am I willing to continue to do the work? Am I willing to deal with the barriers that more or less kept me in a state of suspended animation? If you're ready to answer those questions, if you're ready to get out of the cycle of denial, then you're on the level or the stage of your next trajectory, which is success. Are you ready to be successful? Can you stand to be successful? Or are you afraid of success? If you are afraid of success, you're not ready to take that step, and that's okay. If you are afraid of success and you're not ready to take that step, come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com. I'll give you a non-diagnostic consultation where I can help you understand the thinking errors that you're dealing with to help you uncover so that you can recover. Now listen, as a licensed therapist in the state of North Carolina, I cannot do a diagnosis of you in your state. But what I can do is give you a non-diagnostic consultation when we talk about the thinking errors, your formative years, your psychosocial stages of development, and how all that has played a role in your successes and your failures. Are you ready for the conversation? Are you ready to do the critical work? If you're ready, come see me and get your life on the road to trajectory like Miss J is doing. This young lady is taking her life to the next level. Was very impressed with our conversation that we had. You guys will see her on the post, in the community post. She's short, and I'm just extremely tall. As you guys know, I'm about 6'6". But if you guys are willing to do the work, especially you men that are wondering why you continue to have not have success in relationships and in life, come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com. I can help you eradicate some of those thoughts that you're having. I can help you challenge those thinking errors. And I can also help you come up with a plan that you can execute, a logical plan that can help you take your life to the next level. We're about to go live in a few minutes, guys. We're about to go live in a few minutes. Out here once again in the Peach State. You know, you guys can see it in the Peach State. Of course, it don't rep the Tar Heel State. You know, I'm always talking junk when it comes down to the Tar Heel State, the great state in the union. But here in the Peach State, the home of a few content creators, Kevin Samuels was one. A few others are in Atlanta. I think the lead attorney. And shout out to Before the Billions, the young lion. He's here in the ATL too. Before the Billions, you listening, man. Before I go back to the Tar Heel State, I would love to reach out to some of you guys Before the Billions or some of the brothers and sisters I've talked to in the past. But if not, it's always not for naught. You know, it is what it is. But once again, guys, it's been a great experience. Short, but great experience. And like I say, I look forward to continuing to having these conversations as I bring you guys quality content from a therapeutic perspective. But not only a therapeutic perspective, from a perspective that more or less inculcates clinical concepts with urban and social trends to help you understand how psychopathology and psychopathy plays a role in your evolution as a man, and also how you perform in relationships. So we're about to get live in a minute. I'm going to see if I can go chop it with Miss Jackson. We might go do a live. And guys, you take care. Much love and blessings to those that are listening. And I'll be back in the Tar Heel State at some point, bring it to you live, and we'll continue this conversation. So guys, be well. Much love and blessings. And once again, come see me if you need some help. I'm signing off. So be well.